All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for another Off the Top Sportscast. I'm John, and that is Roy, and we are here today with you with a topic. Roy has a fun topic he says for us. Let's see what it is.
Well, this topic is based on the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez has been a little bit up in arms. The reason why? He feels his number should be retired. The question is, do you consider him a Yankee? Don't you consider him a Yankee? Do you think he's worthy of having his jersey retired? Let's kind of go over a couple little things so you know, and something to think about.
Hold on one second. So he has been talking about this while he's on the MLB network. Is that what I'm understanding here?
Yeah, he's been. If you start looking around, it's been he's been pretty vocal that he feels kind of slighted by the Yankees that his jersey's not retired.
Okay, so give us the numbers.
Well, I'm going to give you some statistics. He's played with 3 teams. If you remember the 3 teams, Yankees, he played with the most. I think it's 12, 13 years. He played with Texas, only 3. And I believe with Seattle, I didn't count it real quick, but from 94 to 2000, right? Yeah, 2000. So that's about 6 years that he played, 7 years with Seattle. Okay? And that's really, where he made his mark and got paid from Texas and got paid from the Yankees, right?
Right.
Statistics. Just give you some statistics. He had over 3,000 hits, almost 700 home runs, 696 home runs. RBI, stolen bases, so what? His average, almost 300. 295. What is this? Is OBP 380 OPS.
On base percentage.
OPS, that's what everybody's talking about now, right? His slugging percentage was high, was a 930. So really, again, the question is, has Alex Rodriguez, number 13 for the Yankees, playing third base from a shortstop, right? Do you feel like he feels that he is made his mark as a Yankee, 1, and 2, made his mark as a player, and that little suspension, which was over 100, I think it was 163 games. It was a stinking long time. Is that the blemish on his record? What are you saying?
Well, A-Rod as a player is one of those great players that came up in that steroid era. So there's a couple of things that are going on with A-Rod, right? How long he played with the Yankees, which you're saying is actually a long time, much longer than I would have said. The steroid thing, he had his suspension for steroids, and the switching of the teams. I think I've changed my mind on the switching of the teams a little bit. I've had to, because I think so many players. So let's take a point by point, I guess. How do you feel about the switching of the teams? I've changed my mind these days. So many players are switching teams that it's hard to ding a guy for that. What do you think?
My view is this: not so much that would you switch a team, is how long are you with a team? What is the impact you've had on the team, right? So yeah, Seattle, 7 years. That's where he became a superstar, right? Now, Texas, that was a blurb of time, 3 years. But New York, that's where he became, I believe, A-Rod. So I think when it comes to switching teams, I don't care, but I do think about longevity and the impact you had on the team.
Okay. So, and then we go to the suspensions. Or let's just take it as a whole, time away from the game. Because he also was hurt. He was also a little prone, to getting hurt, some hamstring strains and things like that. Well, as bigger guys are just more susceptible when they're trying to move that big body. And then he had a long, prolonged suspension. Even before the suspension, there were so many allegations. He was a distraction. He didn't really play like himself for a long time. So, the time away is a big deal when you put it all together like that, don't you think?
It is. The question is, if he took which he admitted, right? He got caught. He admitted. Should that affect him getting into or getting his jersey retired? Should that affect his Hall of Fame? Should that affect his status as a Yankee?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I always say, and I'm going through it right now with Aaron Judge, I say no Yankee player is paid for the regular season. That's not why we're paying guys. We don't, those records that they get in the regular season, those are great records to have. But that's not what we're about here. We're about one thing, and that's championships. Technically, he was part of a championship team. I can't say that I remember much about him in the playoffs.
Understand, he's been in the playoffs. He's had some memorable moments, even though some of them might be fights. You know what I mean? Some of his girl issues, wife issues, But when you look at a third baseman going from shortstop to third, he didn't try to tell Jeter, well, Jeter, maybe you need to move to second. He took third base, and you have to admit, as a third baseman, he was pretty nice. He had some. You look up some highlights.
Yeah, he was great as a third baseman. When I think of that team, right? So we're talking about the one that won it in 2009 was when we won it. I don't think of him as being a huge reason of why we won. I think when I'm thinking about it, Mark Teixeira really was the biggest part of that whole team of why we won it at first base. He made so many plays that World Series. I'm going to have to go against him on this one. I do not think that he has done enough to deserve a number retired. Now, let me put a little brackets here, a little caveat. He has done enough to earn a number retired in almost any other team in the baseball. But I don't think he's done enough to earn his number retired with the Yankees.
Wow, that's pretty deep. I think 13 years. There was at times, he let us down with the bat. Wish he was better with the bat. We didn't get him when he was at the Seattle years. You could imagine if we had those years. But I would say, I think my personal feelings is we're not talking about Hall of Fame. We're just talking about retiring as a Yankee. I think he's done enough. I think he knows the game. If you listen to him talk about the game, I think he knows the game. I think he knows how to hit. Definitely has a glove. I think his problem could be sometimes personality. I think that could be this issue. But I say put him in, retire the jersey, put him in Monument Park, put him back there with some of the greats. He has a ring. He was with us 13 years. And really, there's probably, you go to games right now, somebody's probably wearing a Rodriguez old Yankee shirt, like they do many of them. Listen, I rather rock some of the old numbers than the new numbers. So right. I think he should be in.
Okay, listen, I don't dispute those facts, and I think he should be in the Hall of Fame because his work as total in baseball, I think is Hall of Fame worthy. But the specifics of getting into what you just said, Monument Park, there's only one team in the whole league that has their own basically Hall of Fame. Yeah, they got rings of honor everywhere. This is Monument Park. To me, that's a special thing, and I don't know if he did enough to get there. But I will say this. He has been a great ambassador for baseball. I think he has been a great spokesman for baseball. I think he has been a great on TV. The MLB network was made off the back of Alex Rodriguez and Pete Rose when it first came out. It would not have made it without those two guys. So as far as that is concerned, I think he deserves all the accolades. But when we're talking about the Yankee franchise, that's a whole different animal. And I think that's a special thing that he has not earned.
It's crazy though. You go Hall of Fame because of his scope of work, but the majority of that scope of work, 13 years, was in the NY. So you saying Hall of Fame, you're almost saying yes to Hall of Fame. That's what I heard. But now you say no to Monument Park. That's a little hard for me to understand. Now, you see, if you told me reverse, like I'm saying yes to Monument Park, I'm saying I got a little bit more of a problem with the Hall of Fame at this moment because of the steroids, because of that blemish, right? Now I got a problem. But when it comes to the Yankees, I go, man, he gave good 13 years. When I compare it to some other Yankees, and I'm not talking about Teixeira, stuff like that. I'm just talking about now. You know what I mean? Stanton. We're going to have him for a number of years, and I don't think it was worth anything. And I hope Judge goes good, like the 13 years. Yeah, he's going to have injuries, but play good 13 years? Love it. I don't know if that's going to happen. But again, you say Monument Park, no. I say yes. You say Hall of Fame, yes. I go, I don't know yet. But again, like always, these are discussions that come off the top, discussions that kind of just we're asking everybody, what do you think? Comment below. That's all we're saying. This is off the top. This is news. What do you think? You may be a Yankee hater, you haters out there, and don't like them at all. It doesn't matter what they say, right? But again, it's just conversation, people. It's just conversation.
Man, I that was a great conversation because you made some good points there at the end that you got me teetering, you got me on the ropes. But please let us know what you think. And this is a good one. I might go ahead and put a poll on Facebook and let people vote on this. Does Alex Rodriguez get into Monument Park? I will put it on later on today. Maybe we'll have a special edition. We'll break this one out over the weekend. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Go to our Facebook and subscribe. Go to our Instagram. We're putting up reels. We're putting up different conversations, trying to get you involved, trying to get you entertained. You guys have a good one. And please, as always, speak to a stranger about sports today. Have a good one.